Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Toon in 10, brought to you by the Toon Network. My name's Adam. That's Pete, and that's Vince. You have the full complement today. First of all, it's a happy birthday to Matt Ritchie. So,
how old is he?
27,
yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah,
excellent.
Absolutely amazing signing. I think he's been the best signing we've had this summer. I think he's
Decent international performance as well, a couple of assists, Cammy. But anyway, we've got Max in the wings. But yes, so what we wanted to do was do a transfer roundup of our summer. We've had a lot of ingoings and outgoings, so let's summarise the last few that we haven't talked about yet. So 5 minutes at the ready, time go. Right, who's going to start?
yeah.
We're getting Max, so he's an incoming new transfer. So let's look at. Can we have a look at the left-hand side, because I think it's been evident the past few games probably our weakest side with Dummett and Gouffran has been our left-hand side.
It's been our weakest side for a few years. Let's be honest.
I mean, we finally bought a natural left-footed
First time in 5-6 years
back.
since Santon.
But then even Santon was a right back, you know. I mean,
the first left back we signed.
Hadara was a reserve kind of development player, wasn't he? But yes, and hasn't really kicked on. But yeah, Lazar. I was saying on Twitter, it's a brilliant name to say as a commentator. But like a last-minute winner, he'd be like Lazar. So I'm looking forward to him. Smashing a few worldies in. But I think again, don't know a massive amount about him. He's obviously played in top flight in Italy for a number of years. He's a natural left footer. He seems to be a kind of marauding. Don't know, maybe 24.
Early 20s. His pace is what impresses me. Everyone who talks about his pace and athleticism, and I think that's what people say about Yedlin as well. And it's quite clear that Benitez has noticed a chronic lack of speed in our team, and that's what he's gone out to address with Atsu, Lazar.
What's
Yedlin.
Atsu's natural position?
Well, the thing is, he is a winger.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, Rafa, if you recall that BBC Radio Newcastle interview that he did, he was very open, and he talked about what he wanted to find some balance in the team, which we clearly didn't have. Pace as well. I think pace and balance were the two main things.
Yeah.
So you're looking at now. You've got Atsu, who is a right footer on the left wing. But then you've got Matt Ritchie, who's a left foot on the right wing. So that provides the balance. It is. It's the cutting in. So what we've got now are two balanced wingers with two pretty pacey, Yedlin a lot more so, sort of marauding, overlapping fullbacks. Obviously with Janmaat going, Dummett not able to really provide that.
Janmaat going, eh?
So yeah, I mean. Yeah, so I think we're set up, like you say, with the pace and the balance, and we can actually, with the return of Mitrovic, we've got Daryl Murphy in.
Yeah, I'm going to ask that, Pete, what's your take on Daryl Murphy? I'm not a fan for the money.
I tell you what though, right? On one level, for the money, when I first read it, I was like, come on, 33-year-old striker,
that's
3
exactly
million plus another million, it's like a bit crazy.
Former Mackham.
Yeah,
and,
but I tell you what though, on the grand scheme of things, you know, if he pops up with a couple of goals, that's important. If you know, and
it's weak
it's 3 million. What is
it's
that?
An option off the
and
bench.
it's also the big thing for me. It's another clear representation of Benitez's power, that he's able to go right. We're spending essentially 4 million on this player, and we're going to pay it, even though there's going to be literally zero return of investment. And again, as a signing to represent the change and shift. That's him. I mean, I was underwhelmed. I wasn't like, yeah, get in. I was like, it's Daryl Murphy.
That's it. I think he definitely wasn't first choice. I think Haller, the young French guy, was probably one of our first choices. What we wanted to bring in was either an experienced older head. To be honest, as far as the squad goes, the seniority, we needed somebody older, more experienced, just to sort of rally the younger guys. But I think you either bring in somebody very young who will sort of like. The thing is, I see Mitrovic and Gale, I think, need to play, and I think they can't both develop unless they're playing. So if you brought somebody in who was another first-team player, as much as you want squad depth, you know, I think what we've got is an option off the bench for the last 10 minutes. We've got someone that we can replace Mitrovic with, so he's not Paget playing 90 minutes.
I don't think you'll always be on the bench.
And I think it gives us just a bit more options. Perez can play a Gale kind of role, and we've got another.
Personally, I was a little bit disappointed that Armstrong went. I was quite excited to see whether he could kick on
after his last season.
Exactly, and I thought if he's going to ever get a better opportunity to
the champions.
Feel what it's like to score goals at St James's Park and get an appetite for it, it would have been.
But the other thing to remember,
we go up. I think that's Armstrong gone.
I don't know. I don't.
I just don't see how.
I think the thing with Armstrong is he basically plays as a Mike Lone centre forward, right? We play currently with one up front. He can't lead the like Gale. We struggle to play with Gale, even though he has scored a couple of goals, from like sort of centre. No. I think in the first couple of games we struggle to find him. I think Armstrong can't lead the line on his own because he's too small, basically. So it maybe doesn't fit with Rafa's system.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So when will he?
Well, I don't know.
I'm with Pete on this one. I think it's been a big knock to his confidence. I think there'll be a real big knock to his confidence.
I think he's gone as a Newcastle player, unfortunately.
Yeah, there'll be a transfer next season for him.
It's a shame. And he's got a great name. Yeah. Adam?
Oh yeah, Adam's a good name. Armstrong less so.
Well, classic. Surely do.
Less so. Right, well that's the incoming transfers sorted. Let's have a look at the outgoings in part 2. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the second half of the Toon in 10. So we talked about incoming transfers to the squad in the first half. The second half, let's say goodbye to some old friends. Timer at the ready and go.
Right, do you want Sissoko to be a success at Tottenham? Because I was having this debate with someone the other day. I was saying I kind of want him to. I'd like to see him because I think he's got the potential. But the guy I was talking to says no, he wants to see him fail magnificently.
If I'm honest, I don't care. I mean, there is. I guess there are people out there who go, oh, I think there'll be a lot of people who will expect him to do well and hate the fact he might do well. In my mind, I don't care because he would never have performed for Newcastle. Yeah. We could have kept him there for another 5 years, killed his career, whatever. You never wanted to play for Newcastle, go.
It's the same as Ginny.
I'm not going to be bothered.
It's the same as Ginny. He could be a success.
Ginny's been awful for Liverpool, though, hasn't he?
He could still be a success. But I think the fact that he was never ever going to turn up away from home for us is just like.
But he hasn't been good.
He looked alright on his debut.
Look, the thing is with Sissoko, I've guessed that I think he'll probably come out the blocks really well. I think he'll probably have a good few games.
Place off for Tottenham. This is what I don't get.
I think he'll probably play wide though. So you just come. The thing is, you've got imagine the contrast. Imagine the contrast between the technical ability, the fleet-footed Eric Lamela, and the heavy-handed.
The battering ram.
Yeah. Of knock and run.
You're going to have to like fold it over.
Talking on national TV about the other week, weren't you?
Fan TV, yeah. We'll
with the disgraced comedian Justin Lee.
He wasn't asking you to write down what you were doing in the diary, was he?
I wasn't, no, he wasn't.
They might watch this actually. That's going to be your invite, Scrap.
Didn't say a word.
Shouldn't have done it, should he?
Exactly.
I haven't said a word. So yes, the Sissoko thing. We got 30 million for him, which is just stupendous. I think everyone woke up in the morning still pinching themselves. Did something
pay 30 million? But not answering your phone calls though.
Oh,
that was sick.
Disgraceful. The thing is, like, Levy.
I love how they turned around and went, we'll withdraw anyway.
Somebody made
I didn't fancy her anyway. Like, I'm not last in the club. I don't like it.
Somebody made a really good point about. At the start of the window. Levy looked at 25 million for Wijnaldum and went, nah, it's not worth it. And then paid 5 million more for a far less.
Levy gets spent over a barrel, or we knew that we were waiting.
Really, we played it really well. But I think like you know, talking about balance sheet champions, but we're 30. What is it? 31 million.
But we've more or less had a full
after this
turnover.
We have
13, 14 out.
So look who's gone. Krull's gone away on loan to Ajax, which is quite
that.
Look,
think he'll come back as first choice if we get promoted?
I think it depends on how he performs out there, to be honest.
No, I think that's a statement.
Well, obviously, the Dilsh has just signed a new contract. 4 more years. For my... So the Dilch is, he's loving life at the minute, so that maybe...
Where does that leave Dan?
Loving life too much. He's eating too many burgers. Well, but I think I'm a bit disappointed with Crow. I think he should have been on number one this season, if I'm honest.
But we don't know how he trains though.
Yeah,
and we don't know what
like,
Benitez says, and he obviously didn't see him as adequate enough.
He wasn't his player. He wanted to
I think he's been off form for a few
Sells
years.
has come into his form now. I think Sells has been alright.
So De Jong's gone. I'm really glad he's paired up with his brother. He's got another club. I hope he can keep some fitness. Genuinely, I care about what happens to him. I couldn't care what happens to Sissoko and Elden. But De
Why do you care about what happens?
because I think he's a good guy and I think he just deserves a break.
A good guy? Not personally.
I don't know. He comes across
Go for a pint with him.
he comes across a really nice guy.
What? When?
Genuine guy.
He's never played a game.
Okay. Nobody here knows Sissoko. Nobody here knows De Jong, but you'd argue that De Jong is a far nicer guy than Sissoko for many reasons. No, at least he
Because he's injured.
no, because he had integrity.
How?
Because he wasn't Sissoko. Slander in the club.
Doesn't work.
He never slandered the club in interviews or anything. So when he did talk, he spoke well, and I thought he was massively injury prone. And he was never going to get a game, and it was right that he moved him
Simon, do you fancy going for a pint?
on. Simon, right, there's your knowledge.
Yeah.
Right, so Jan-Mat's gone, he can fuck off as well.
Because he's not De Jong.
Yeah, apparently.
There's good Dutch people and there's bad Dutch people.
Tiote, will he go?
Yeah.
Nobody wants him.
Well,
He talked to Spanish clubs, he's talked to... He talked to Turkish clubs. Well, did he fail his
back in
did he fail his medical? I heard there was contractual disputes as well. Like, look,
he's not De Jong. He wasn't De Jong, would he? He's not
Sim De Jong's a nice guy, man. He's definitely not a nice. He's definitely not a nice guy. Whereas Sissoko just comes across a bit of a cock.
I don't know anything
That's my
about
point. Sissoko's just a bit of a cock. He is.
Simon De Jong.
Simon De Jong.
Damn it.
Yes. Get in. Simon De Jong. Do your research next time, fella.
Yeah, tell us what a good guy is. Do a profile on him.
Is Justin Lee Collins a nice guy?
Don't really know him.
Well, you don't know him.
Oh, God.
He was very pleasant to me. So we play Derby at the iPro Stadium later on today. Quick predictions for that, Vince.
I think we'll win. Derby have been underwhelming to start the season. I still think they'll be there or thereabouts because Pearson's a good manager, but I think it'll be 1-0. Do a similar performance to Bristol City away, 1-0.
I'm going to go with 2-1 Newcastle. I think I don't think Mitrovic will start, but I think he'll come on as a sub towards the end to give us something a bit different. What do you think?
1-1.
1-1?
Yep.
Play it down the middle.
I predict Shelvey to be a scorer. I think Shelvey's going to stake his claim.
He had a great game against Brighton.
So he should be. Shelvey should be absolutely dominating this division. Absolutely dominating it. His technical ability, strength, positional awareness.
It's his temperament though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what
this division, he should be King Cock.
Oh, God, he should.
Yeah, he really should. And from set pieces now, we're far more dangerous, as outlined in the last one. 6 out of 8 goals that we've scored so far, all from set pieces. So it's like we suddenly went from the team who couldn't score a set piece to now
Can't stop scoring from set piece.
Can it?
Can't stop.
Can it? Just keep fouling, guys. Keep fouling. But yeah, I think we're hopefully we've turned a corner. And away form, if we can just keep it steady, I think as long as we don't lose against Derby, we'll just keep it chugging along. Rafa, man.
So we're back on Wednesday for QPR.
Yeah, we'll be back with reaction to both QPR and Derby itself.
And Adam's going to do a CM De Jong special.
Yeah.
The De Jong in one.
Yeah. Put highlights together for me.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my
one
friend.
minute of highlights.
1 minute of
You
coming
have
off the
been
bench.
the one for me. Goodbye, my lover.
Right, it's descending into anarchy
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
Call it off.
I've been Adam. That's been Pete. That's been Vince. Max. CM De Jong. Awesome. Share with all your friends. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the lot, and catch us on iTunes and SoundCloud as well. All your favourite channels. We'll see you next time. This has been the Toon and 10. Cheers. Bye-bye.